The Keys Auto Show prep continues. So yesterday, or in the last video, we spray painted the VRSF onto the front mount intercooler. Really happy with how that came out, and the reason I left the front bumper off, as you can see here, is because I'm going to be building a front splitter for this front end. So I picked up a sheet of ABS plastic, and I'm going to basically build and cut out a front splitter that's going to sit underneath the M Sport lip. I've never really done anything like this, so this is, as most with everything on this channel, I haven't done anything like this yet, so it'll be a learning experience for both of us. Amazon actually just dropped this off, which is pretty cool, and definitely, I was kind of hoping you'd be able to see what it was when I pulled it right out of the package, but hold on. So, I picked up, come on, some splitter rods as well. Let's see if I can get these out. There we go. Nice. So, 2 splitter rods. Basically, I'm gonna put them probably kind of in each corner up here, going down, something like that. So these were 7, almost 8 inches, and they can go up to, I think, 13 inches. So they are extendable and adjustable, and we'll definitely make use of them. I might actually wrap this black part white just so it goes with everything else that we've done on the car. But the first step, I know I've got the cardboard out. I'm going to basically make a template for the front splitter. I think, and huge shout out by the way to HQ_Bmw, I believe that's your channel, man. I will put it up here and make sure it's correct either way, but I actually got this idea from him. He did a similar video on a front splitter on his F30, so make sure you go check it out just to double up, get double content. It should be sick. But yeah, the whole plan all in all is actually going to be to do the front splitter. I'm making my own side skirt extensions and rear bumper valances. It should be fun. It's going to look really good once it's all finished, but let's go ahead and start making this template. Here's where I'm at. I took a couple pieces of cardboard. This was one box, and this was pieces from another box that I added on to each side to make this long enough. So now we can grab the bumper, bring it on over, and basically set it down on top of that. And if I center it, should be just enough space. So the reason why, if you look, this I probably could have gotten away with just using this piece of cardboard here, but my goal is to have the splitter come around, and then at the end here I want to make a little wing that shoots up. So I needed the extra space there on each side to actually measure that and put it into the template. Again, shout out to HQ_Bmw. Dude's been a real help so far in this project, and I'm just getting started. So what I did, just like him, I'm gonna cut out I did cut out a piece, or a block of wood. Jeez, I can't talk. And basically what I'm gonna do is take a Sharpie and just put it on the outside of this block and go around the entire thing, and that should give us a nice even line that mimics the front lip. And then I'll go ahead and figure out how I'm going to do the wings after that. Here's my first line. That's basically going to be the outline of the front splitter. So again, it's 2.5 inches off the lip, so this space right here. And basically, just so you guys have a reference point, I just took this. I had to add a piece of cardboard because right here the lip is a little bit higher and the block would slip under. But basically just trace around this entire thing like that, so that we have a nice same even distance from the front lip all the way around. This part, doing the wing, is really hard because I don't really know how I want it to work. So like here you can see that I'm basically going to bend the plastic, so when I cut this out it's going to extend to me one full sheet. Then I'm going to cut something like that, and I'm going to want to make my 90-degree bend right here. So this piece that I've outlined is going to fold up like that. But the thing is, I don't really know how far to go this way, or how harsh of a line or curve to make, so it's kind of challenging.
A few moments later.
Here's kind of where I'm at. This has been difficult, I guess, and I know this is just the template, but I'm trying to get it as close to perfect as possible, so when I actually go to cut the ABS, it'll be money. But these little fin things are really hard to figure out without some sort of a prior template, so I just I'm guessing here. Basically, I'm going to start by giving myself 3 inches this way, so it's going to come up 3 inches. I think this is about 3 inches, and this is about 4 inches. That's going to go down. I figure that way, if anything, and if it looks too big, I can just cut it down to maybe like 2.5 inches, and you get the point. But I figure it's always better to start bigger than smaller. Here's how the front looks once we take the bumper off, or I'll just move it back. That's pretty much the entire thing right here. It's about, I guess, maybe like a foot in its longest piece and tapers off towards the ends. Essentially, we're just gonna basically bolt this thing up into the M Sport lip that's on there right now, and then just have the splitter rod supporting the front side in the middle. So it should not be going anywhere and should provide some extra protection on the underside of the car and protect the underside of the M Sport lip, which it's been on there for 3 years. It's already trashed, but hey, you know what? Let's put a splitter under it. So I've got this massive sheet of ABS here. I went with, it's 1/4 inch, so 1/4 inch thick. It's 8 feet by 4 feet, so 8 feet long, 4 feet tall. And I'm basically hoping I can use this entire sheet to basically make everything. I'm gonna make the side skirt extensions, the rear bumper valences, and the front bumper splitter, hopefully all on this sheet. But now my problem is one side has this texture on it, and the back side is more of a gloss black, but as you can tell, it's got scratches all over it. I'm kind of trying to figure out right now, because I'm gonna have the bends, so if I decide to do like the textured side facing up on the splitter, then when I fold the end wings on the front splitter, the outside of the wings are gonna be gloss, which I don't know, there's really no way to get it so it's the same on both sides, but I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do gloss up top or the textured, and I'm kind of leaning towards the textured just because I think it'll look a lot cleaner, less scratched, so I'll probably end up doing that. The time has come where I have to cut into this expensive sheet of ABS. This stuff was not cheap, by the way. It's about 150 bucks, and it took me about 2 weeks to actually source it locally, where it wasn't gonna cost me an arm and a leg to ship a giant sheet of plastic, but I did find it. Call like your local signage stores, call your plastic companies. Yeah, usually you just gotta actually call them and try and talk to somebody and explain what you're trying to do. Because normally if you send an email just like, hey, I'm trying to make a splitter, do you guys have any plastic? They're gonna probably blow you off because they deal with mainly commercial stuff. So just a little tip, give them a call and actually explain what you're doing, and usually they'll either be able to help you out or point you in the direction to someone who can. So I took the stencil and a white Crayola colored pencil, yes, and I traced it all out, so now you can see the outline. I left excess on both sides, on basically every edge. I left about a 1/2 inch of excess, so that way when I go and cut this out, I'll have room for error, and if it doesn't look good, I can sand it down and make it smaller. So I'm really nervous to cut this just because it was so expensive, but I guess the only way to move forward is to move forward by cutting it. I also have no idea how the grinder's gonna do with this plastic. I think it'll be fine, but I've used it for metal. When I tried to make the wood ramps the other weekend, it did not really work for wood. But I don't know, plastic, we'll give it a shot. It's all gonna get sanded down anyways. The grinder is taking quite a while, but I am getting it done. So far, I've spent like 10 minutes just cutting this part right up to about here. So I'm just gonna put you guys down because I think you get the picture of what I'm doing. So I'll catch up with you guys once I have this all cut out. Okay, all done. That was intense. So I've got the cutout. It's the rough shape. The edges are really rough because of the melted plastic that basically melted when I use the sauce. So I'm gonna have to go through, sand this down and fine tune everything, and then I gotta bend these corners. Here's the rough idea. It's kind of hard to see in the shade. So what I have to do next is make sure these angles are right and then bend these up and I guess bolt it down. Not too confident on the order of things that I want to do. I feel like it'd be easier to get it mounted and then try and sand it all down, so I'm making sure it looks even while it's on the bumper, versus trying to make sure it looks even now and then putting it on the bumper and realizing I've sanded off too much. So I think might need to run over to the hardware store, pick up some bolts, nuts, washers, and probably get that mounted, and then we'll go to bending and making this thing look perfect.
2 hours later.
Got a bunch of hardware. I guess next steps is gonna be to get this thing mounted. Not really sure how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do pilot holes with some self-tapping screws, then go through with a drill bit and widen them out just a little bit. Maybe I won't have to, in order to fit the actual bolts that we're gonna use to secure it. But I think it'd be easier to use the self-tapping screws just for starters, unless I can somehow get underneath this thing, clamp the new splitter to the bumper so that way it stays where it's at, and then I can just shoot holes into where I need to drill. But I don't know, process to figure out. Self-tapper screws are in, and I'm like cringing right now putting my bumper like this, but I don't have any way to do it, so this is how it's going to get done. Basically now I'm going to take it back off and I don't know, drill some holes, make the screws better for the bolts. I'm just all over the place today. You guys get what I'm saying. I gotta take this thing off, then re-drill and pre-drill the holes, and then put the bolts that I bought from the hardware store on it like that. And then we can go in and fine-tune everything, and then we can go and fold these corners, and lastly we can put on the splitter rods. If you guys can't tell based on my tone, it's just, I'm kind of over it. I want to get like the car ready for keys, and I'm trying to do all this stuff in time, and I don't know, doing it by yourself is really, really hard. If I had just like one extra set of hands, this would be so much easier, but slowly but surely, as always, this is kind of like the motto of my channel lately, slowly but surely, we're just getting it done. I am done for the day. I'm gonna end it here and catch up with you guys in the morning because sun's going down, and I need to go to my buddy's to pick up a hand sander so I can finish just basically edging the front splitter, and then it'll be done. Yeah, then it'll be all done. I've got it mounted and everything. It's all on the car. I do need to drive the car tomorrow, so that's why I had to get it done. So meanwhile, doing this, these are Jenna's new wheels. If you guys remember a few videos back, she was having some issues, and I went ahead and bought her, well, no, she bought with her own money. She bought some new wheels, and I basically told her I will paint them for her because they came just black, and ended up doing this really nice kind of like mineral gray look. It's like a dark metallic, but it does have some flake in it. So this is like 2 coats of primer and 4 or 5 coats of base color, and then I've got some clear coat I'm going to spray on them, but a little bit of an upgrade. I'm going to wait to show you guys the splitter until I have a chance to sand it down tomorrow, and then you'll see it in its final state, and it should look good. So I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. What's up? It is the next day, and some things have transpired. For starters, the front splitter came off basically right here. Sorry, not the splitter. The splitter was still attached to the lip, but the lip came off from the bumper. So I had to take the splitter off over here and screw this back up first and then put the splitter back on. So that happened on both sides, which was a real pain, but I think I fixed it now. It seems to be working fine. I picked up a sander, and I just want to basically hit the front of the lip with this and get all the edges nice. One other cool thing too, I got new tires on today, so we got fresh meat, boys. Got some brand new Ventus V12s. For anyone that's wondering, I rock hand-cooked Ventus V12s on the F30. Obviously both front and rear, so now we are safe to drive down to New Jersey, and we don't have to worry about this blowing up, hopefully. Alright, this is going to be the end of the front lip install. I have done everything except for get the remainder of the, it's like a chalky white line, so you can see some right here. Oh, yeah, you can see it right here. So I've just been taking a clay bar, but it takes a while to get it off, so I'm going to do that off camera. But this is how it looks. After being sanded and shaped, I think the edges definitely look a lot better, and doesn't quite look like it's going to cut your ankle if you walk too close to it. Originally, I don't know if I explained this, originally I was going to do the winglets here, but when I was going to cut it, and I did cut it, and I made a spot for a winglet, but when I started to use the heat gun and fold it up, it just didn't want to go. So I think that's just probably because it's 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch is a little thick, but we'll see. I still want to attempt it on the side skirts. I just think it looks really good, especially slammed on the ground. And now it actually, yeah, like the front end actually sits on the ground now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, you know, you guys have done something like this, because I would love to like learn how to do this better actually. I know a second set of hands would definitely be helpful, but you know, I made do. Your boy makes do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give this video a big thumbs up, man. I put in work for this thing. Give me a thumbs up, please. And yeah, keep elevating, guys. Peace out.